Hey, we're live. Okay.
Or at
This
least something that reflects life.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Feliz Navidad. Happy Hanukkah. Before we get started, views and opinions expressed. God bless you. Before we get started, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily those the SCV, GC, any division, brigade, camp, or other subsidiary, strictly those of us who are expressing them. Same as usual. Didn't mess it up this time. That's good.
Hey, it's a Christmas miracle. Vinny's out of Facebook jail.
Give him about 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh, and already seeing everybody come in, we're not going to do the intro video, mainly because last week we're hoping is going to be our last time to use the old intro video. We're hoping upon hope that our new song recorded by Carl Jones will be in over the Christmas break, and we can make a new intro video. So yeah. Oh, hey, according to Facebook notification, we're now live instead of a minute and 19 ago. But good evening, everyone. Glad to be back. It's a happy night and a sad night. Sad. Oh, all hail Hank.
Hank.
If we'd have known Hank was going to be on, we'd have put that in the information.
Last minute decision on his part. He had so many requests.
Oh yeah.
It's the Christmas possum.
Christmas possum.
Yes.
But this is our last episode of season 2. Where has the year gone? Is what I want to know. It doesn't feel like, granted, I missed a couple episodes in the fall, but it's been another fun year. Moose is trying to get his caboose back home and in costume and uploading our gag reel because we have a ton of them. But this is we started this last year of dressing kind of goofily for our Christmas episode. Matt, of course, is dressed as Cousin Eddie. Moose, you'll see what he's wearing later on. I'm dressed as my favorite Christmas character, Adam Southern.
Well, you did a dang good job of it.
Thank you.
He's even got that glass of iced tea too.
He needs a diet
sun drop.
Sun drop, yeah.
With some Gentleman Jack in it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm Insanity Claus.
Insanity Claus? Is that what you
Insanity
said?
Claus. and Larry is just the Commander-in-Chief Larry. He's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's herpes.
His views and opinions, folks. But no, we're just kidding.
Well,
everybody knows we will have
his lamp hasn't been delivered yet.
But it's so good to see everybody on. Of course, the legend Paul Graham was in the chat. Todd Owens, Donnie Kennedy. Saw Miss Dottie in there earlier. Rich Garcia just commented. Of course, Cousin Vinny. I think Cousin Vinny. I don't think he's ever missed an episode, even if
he's
his
out of jail, obviously, because he was being Joe Wheeler last week.
Yeah.
Right.
It was an alias.
Yeah. And Moose is typing in the chat. Thanks for that comment. I bet Facebook will be reaching out, probably so. But
for saying herpes,
he said it again. Anyway, so we're pleased to have again the Commander-in-Chief on and past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael. Before we get to past Commander-in-Chief McMichael, Commander-in-Chief, any holiday greetings you want to give to the Confederation and the other folks who are happily watching at home?
Merry Christmas.
Did you write that yourself?
Has Carl Jones been writing your speeches?
I'm a man of few words.
I was about to say
But on a serious note, let's not forget the 4 Christmases that our ancestors were far away from home, and let's don't forget the sacrifices that they made for us. Whenever you're sitting around with your family on Christmas, please think of the sacrifices those men made for 4 Christmases far away from home, many of them never to return. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Hey,
and let's remember our young men and women who are away from home currently as well.
I want to say this. Ronnie Headley just put this out there, and Camp 37, the monument in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. If you're watching in Tennessee, they're collecting from Mayfield, Kentucky. Let's remember our brothers and sisters across those 4 southern states ravaged by tornadoes this weekend. Some of the worst damage I've seen on the television. I can't imagine what those families are going through, but our thoughts and prayers are with them. And if there's anything that we can do, please let us know. So,
as a side note, I got a picture the day after the tornado, and they were showing the courthouse there, and the monument was standing just as proud as could be, the Confederate monument there.
I will remind our members they can go to scv.org, the donation page, and drop down, and they can donate to the SCV Relief Fund there, and then that money can go to our compatriots and their families in that area who may need some temporary cash for shelter or food or whatever. I know in our part of the country, Larry, we've used the relief fund after hurricanes quite often. So if anybody's out there that can, go to the SCV page and donate some money to our relief fund, because there's going to be, as the days go by, we'll start finding out more and more people who need help and how to get it to them.
And I believe we did have we do have a camp in Mayfield, Kentucky as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely
one of my wife's
everybody.
Confederate ancestors is buried there. Her grandfather's from Mayfield.
Yeah, everybody, even if you're not in the Tennessee division, I know that camp in Tennessee is doing that, and hats off to them. But if you're from New Jersey to California, from the Gulf Coast up to the Canadian border, or even in the Saskatoon camp, you can donate to the Confederate or the SCV's relief fund via scv.org. Any little bit helps.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's move on to some cheerier news. I think we all need it's the holidays. Let's be thankful for what we got and be merry and cheerful, because that's what the holidays are about.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I am thankful for.
Moose.
Well, no, not the moose, but the new moose ornament I'm going to hang later on.
Okay. That is a beautiful ornament.
I have a feeling that the bedazzled moose is going to make an appearance at the national reunion.
Uh-oh.
If you paid attention to the Chathead Supper when we went live for the reinternment, you will remember that we gave out some awards. I think we're going to add a third.
I like that, the Bedazzled Moose Award.
Yeah, so. I think it's going to go in a chalice.
The Bedazzled
No,
Moose.
we've already have a chalice. It needs to be a mug.
That's true.
Or a stein.
I was very upset because my moose glasses hammock. I would love that. A moose mounted onto a glass.
Well, you can get those moose cups like they had in Vacation, but they're expensive.
We just need to figure out what the criteria are for getting them. I've got an idea of at least one person to nominate. We'll announce the criteria later on. Trying to remember what mounted on a mason jar. That's a good idea, Jimmy Hill, AOT Commander. I happen to have a bunch of mason jars.
I'm a big fan of mason jars. Everything good in life that I've ever had has come out of a mason jar.
Pickles, olives,
Corn
beverages.
liquor.
Okay.
Of course, in South Louisiana, you have to have a Knights of Columbus jar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Connor got it.
That's there's nothing like a good joke, and that was nothing like a good joke.
But I'm looking
That
at
was a
three
good
of
joke.
them, so
Oh,
hey, you
Lord
get
of
what you
mercy.
pay for.
So I tried calling you the other day, Chuck Mac. Don't know if I know I had one wrong number. Because I ended up calling Evan
Yeah,
accidentally.
he stole one of my numbers to use for his law stuff.
Yeah, that kind of freaked me out. I was like,
You have reached
No.
Evan McMichael, attorney at law.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If I'd have thought about it, I would have come up with a fake name and from Transylvania, Louisiana, to see if he could help me with the case. But I wasn't thinking that
Well,
fast.
Transylvania's not in his jurisdiction.
Oh,
That's on the other side of the
darn.
state. He's not
Oh.
lying. There is a Transylvania, Louisiana.
I don't doubt that at all.
It's over above Monroe.
I've been to Louisiana.
You have?
That's a whole different world when you drive down there and you start seeing French on the signs. You're like,
Well, that's more South Louisiana, but we have some of that North Louisiana too.
I was with you in Louisiana, Matt.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, when y'all were down at Kenner? Well, actually, you've been twice down there. Matt has. He's been there for our state convention and the national.
That was the very first SCV big event that I went to. And the first people that I'm introduced to is Chuck Mac and Paul and Linda. And it was a hoot. I had a good, we witnessed a murder. Well, didn't witness it.
We heard one.
We definitely heard it.
We ear witnessed a shooting.
Yeah. It happened like right up the street from us, but we heard the car squealing. That was a pretty fun night.
Yeah, it was. We were sitting out there on the deal with Charles LeRae and some other folks. And we said, damn, that's gunshots. That's not like a 9mm. And like,
Right,
yeah, I think so.
You could tell you're around a bunch of people from the South because they were like, that's a pistol. That's not a rifle.
Oh, we nailed it down. It was a 9mm.
Yeah. Got it down to the
I was fixing to say, Matt, that's Southern entertainment when people sitting on the back patio listening and go like, what gun is that?
Oh yeah. That's what we do in my neighborhood. We play, is that gunshots or fireworks?
Yeah.
Well, my cherished childhood Christmas story, if I get time later, will involve some very Southern neighborhood acting things if we get to it. So,
Well,
whenever
I get to
Connor
play.
wants me to do that, or if he wants me to do the actual serious stuff I've got here first.
Well, you pick. I was about to segue into it, so your choice, dealer's choice.
Well, I'll
Ladies
do a
and gentlemen,
couple of the actual things first. There's
All
some
right.
things that are Christmas traditions that a lot of people don't realize are the South started them. In fact, in some of them, the South is really the only ones that still do it. I know a lot of you probably families got fruit at Christmas, oranges, and used to be a big deal around here to get a case of Pecos grapefruits at Christmas from out in Texas. They still grew. Well, you may not realize that getting fruit at Christmas is really only a Southern thing. And the reason is because all the ports were in the South where the ships from South America came. And in South America, of course, it was summertime. So around Christmas time, the ships would land in New Orleans or Mobile or Charleston and would have fresh fruit. And so it being a big deal, that's what they would do at Christmas. And so nowadays, a lot of Southern kids get an orange in their stocking. I know I grew up with that, having fruit and things like that for Christmas. Well, that is a Southern thing. And in fact, one of the things that developed from having fruit at Christmas was a traditional Southern dessert, ambrosia.
Oh yeah, ambrosia. Yeah.
Well, that's a Southern deal, and you can't have it at Christmas without fruit, and only the South had it. So there you go. There's another deal for that. Another thing that was very Southern is fireworks at Christmas. I always got fireworks in my stocking growing up. In fact, that stocking right there, I used to get fireworks in when I was a kid. And one of the, tangerines, any citrus, Todd.
So how old is that stocking, Chuck Mac?
Mid-60s. And at least. And so fireworks, and Larry will know this, and probably Connor, that stemmed, of course, from the war in Vicksburg, who wouldn't do 4th of July because of what happened during the war. Well, that extended all over Mississippi and into North Louisiana and everywhere. We didn't do 4th of July. So we just switched fireworks to Christmas time and New Year's. And so we always got fireworks. And we would go to my uncle's place over near Minden, and we would go out at night and shoot off the fireworks on Christmas night. And in fact, one of the earliest stories, my father used to tell so-called jokes, but they really weren't, about growing up poor in Bienville Parish, Louisiana, and the Depression after World War II and right before. And one of the stories he would tell is that on a good year, Christmas, he would get an orange and a firecracker for Christmas. And they would eat their orange and light their firecracker. Bad years, they would get a persimmon in a paper bag. And they would suck on the persimmon and then blow up paper bag and bust it. So that's why I was being poor in Bienville Parish. So that's two, oranges and fireworks. Another big one, and there's always an argument on how to pronounce this. I've always said poinsettia. Some people say it's poinsettia. But that is a Southern thing as well when it comes to Christmas. In fact, they used it in, that's right, you always did it during Christmas, Kennedy's. That's what we did too. And I almost blew my uncle's dock up one time by putting an artillery shell in upside down. But I was young. I was only about 17 when I did that. So,
I was just about to say I would like a tannerite for Christmas, but you went ahead and.
No, if I get my hands on tannerite, I'm playing with it. You can come over and we can do it together. I've got some good stumps.
Deal. I'll get some. We can go blow something up.
Oh, heck yeah.
I should not have said that.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. That is not what I meant at all.
Tannerite, we're talking about blowing stumps, right?
Yeah. That's what you use.
Or beaver dams.
Beaver dams are good too. So poinsettias, I'm just going to say.
Remember, folks, we're not a terrorist organization. We're not a terrorist organization.
Unless you're a stump.
Unless, skunks,
In which case you deserve to be taken out. So poinsettia were used at Christmas time in South America and Mexico because they believed the shape of the bloom represented like the Star of Bethlehem. Well, there was an ambassador to Mexico who decided to bring them back to America. When I say America, I mean the South. He was from Charleston, and his name was Dr. Joel Roberts Poinsett. And so he named the flower after himself, the poinsettia. And that's how they spread as a Christmas plant throughout the South, because they were blooming in South America and Mexico when he brought them back into South Carolina around Christmas time. So the country owes the South for having the whole poinsettia thing for Christmas. Let's see. Look, stew fire. What's Jason talking about there? Oysters. Actually, I have that on my list too. Oysters, and especially my wife and my son like oyster dressing, where you put the oysters in your dressing. But yeah, oysters were a big deal at Christmas because December is considered a safe month because of the R, and it being cold weather, you don't have as much bacteria and whatnot. So oysters is on the list for Christmas stuff too. Not necessarily raw, but smoked oysters, candied oysters, whatever. Yeah, you're right, Casey. I had that on my list too. Jingle Bells was written by a Confederate veteran. He also wrote some songs, a couple other ones that he wrote for the Army during the war that Bobby Horton does. I don't believe the Christmas Act organized in Alabama. I think he immigrated there, Carl. He probably got off of the ship in Mobile with Jean-Baptiste
Saucier. Yeah, but he didn't get his magical Christmas powers till he got to Alabama. When he met the Yuletide.
That's another word for it. All right, you want me to do some more now, or want to do something else, Connor?
Oh,
You
keep going. Keep going.
Here we go. I'll save the most controversial one for last.
How good.
Ooh.
The whole idea of using magnolias and pine trees at Christmas. In Europe, Christmas tree evergreens were firs and cedars and whatnot. And so this one goes all the way back to Jamestown. At Jamestown, they noticed southern pines were also evergreens. So they started using them for Christmas trees and Christmas time decorations. You know, you've heard of the Virginia pine and the Scotch pine, all that. That all goes back to Jamestown using pine trees for Christmas trees. And as it even strayed further, what's another southern evergreen that you will see used as Christmas garland? Magnolias. You'll see magnolia leaves and pines as Christmas decorations. And that started in the South, especially pines at Jamestown. It goes all the way back. So anybody that uses a pine for a Christmas tree or uses pine looking garland, you can thank the South for that too. So I had oysters. Okay, now let's get to the controversial one. And then later I'll tell my heartwarming Christmas story.
I thought that was a controversial one.
Oh, no. You know,
nothing like Christmas controversy here on
Yankees say
SCV
don't
Chat.
discuss religion and politics, and you'll start an argument. You know, the SCV, that's not a problem because we really don't argue much over religion and politics. You want to start an argument at SCV meeting, one, like we did on last Thursday, we bring up SEC football. That'll start an argument.
Yeah.
Another thing that'll start an argument in the South is barbecue.
Yeah.
And who has, and why people in South Carolina insist on calling that yellow stuff barbecue when it's not.
You shut your mouth.
But the other one is pecans. Because there are some people who insist on pronouncing them the wrong way.
What'd you say,
there
pecans?
There are several wrong ways that it's pronounced.
Did you say pecans?
What?
Did you say pecans?
That is the wrong way.
No, it's the right way.
Now, I can explain to you why it's the wrong way. Because where pecans were first used would be the people who know the correct way to pronounce them. And
I had
guess
a
where they were
pecan
first
tree
used?
in my backyard.
Louisiana. Okay. The pecan pie traces its roots to Louisiana and the French settlers in Louisiana. The Native Americans showed them pecans, and they used it in some of the desserts that they made. So it's pecan, or if you're going to be a real redneck, it's like a B. It's pecans, or pecan. Now, if you really want me to reach to the screen and grab you and slap you, you will say praline instead of praline.
Oh, I always say praline. Who
People
says
from
praline?
People from Texas say pecan pralines. Oh, God. Oh, forgive me. It's Christmas time. So it's pecan pralines. So it's pecans because they started here. And two other dishes that started here because of pecans are pralines and divinity. Both come from South Louisiana. And that was stuff that they used to use pecans for. You know, they're all the joke. You know what a pecan is? That's what you keep under your bed at night. So it's pecan. If you say praline, you're from another planet or a Yankee. The same person would say praline would say New Orleans.
Oh, man. Way to go, Chuck. Now you got everybody in the chat talking about how you pronounce pecan or pecan.
I told you it was a controversial one.
Who invented fruitcake?
I like it, fruitcake,
Let
actually.
me tell you something.
But I believe that's a European thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there I go. Or should be a European.
The fruitcake capital of the U.S. is in Georgia. I've been by the fruitcake factory. Oh yeah,
I do like the Claxton fruitcake.
Claxton fruitcake.
To me, from Texas, the Collins Street Bakery makes a slightly better fruitcake than the Claxton. Now, none of them could match what my grandma Tressie made. You had to keep her fruitcake away from open flame. My grandpa would be given a fifth of Jack for Christmas, and she'd go, "You can't have that whiskey and stuff." And she would spend all year pouring it on her fruitcake till it was good and ripe for Christmas time. So
wait, that's a real thing? You can do that?
that's how real fruitcakes are made.
You can do that with any dessert.
My grandma would bake the fruitcake, wrap it in cheesecloth, put it in a tin, and about once a month during the year, opens it up and pours the whiskey in there and let it soaks into the cake. That's the old-timey way to do it.
I just have a newfound love of fruitcake. Thank you, Chuck Mac.
Okay, but it won't work with a Claxton fruitcake because they're not as much cake. They're more like marshmallow and they're too dense. You'd have to actually have a baked fruitcake for it to work.
San Francisco is the fruitcake capital.
Here we go. We're going to make alcoholics out of everybody by eating fruitcake.
Well, no, actually, by the time you get to Christmas, a lot of the alcohol has evaporated out. It's kind of like Cherry's Jubilee. You really burn the alcohol when you light those things on fire. It's not really much alcoholic anymore.
Look, you can't go wrong with putting
alcohol. Another
Christmas
probably
together.
Southern dessert is rum balls. Like they're like the little what do you call it? The Queen Anne things, the chocolate covered cherries.
Mm-hmm.
I just love those things, but they're really awful. There's like formaldehyde or something in them, but I love them. But people make rum balls. They're kind of like the Martha Washingtons. So, okay. Well, let's see, given knowledge about whiskey and fruitcake, there's no telling what Philpott is going to do this. Well, yeah, the Pop-Tarts, you could definitely, what you do at a Pop-Tart, let me tell you, Carl, I have researched this scientifically. You really can't soak a Pop-Tart in whiskey. You have to inject it. You take a syringe with some rum in it, and the little bitty holes underneath the icing, you can inject that rum throughout the Pop-Tart. And then when you toast it, it will activate the rum into the jelly filling of the Pop-Tart, kind of like it does in a fruitcake. You haven't tried that yet?
No, but I have a great idea for a new Tuesday night show. Can you talk like she was on PBS, Julia Childs.
The what now?
Can you talk like Julia Childs?
Like Julia Childs? Yes. Here. Oh goodness, I've cut my finger off. Yes. You know that she was for the CIA during World War II. And the moose has arrived. Shall we say it? The moose is loose.
The moose is
there
loose. That's the best thing I've seen all week.
Thank you, Todd.
And he's in the bed.
Thank you, Todd.
Everybody that's laughing, Moose, is really jealous that they don't have one.
I am actually jealous that I do not have moose pajamas. Please stop undressing on camera.
I'm not.
What are you doing? This has gotten very awkward.
Did y'all hear the latest from the North Pole?
His phone and everything out.
I got to get all my phone out so I can do all the crap I do as producer.
You ready for another bad joke there, Connor?
Sure.
Okay, here's the latest from the North Pole, which the moose reminds me of. Rudolph the reindeer has changed his name to Rolanda the reindeer, and now he's kicking ass in the female reindeer games. Signs of the times.
These episodes get better and better.
I was telling y'all after the last one, all the stuff about trans athletes, it's nothing new. Larry can tell you, back in the 70s, the Chinese and the East Germans were having trans athletes back then. They were shooting up their female swimmers with testosterone and hormones and stuff. And they're, hi, my name is Erika and stuff like that. That's why they were winning and had to get kicked out of all the Olympics. So, all right, Moose, do you have a Moose story for us?
For the women.
All I have is a gag reel, sadly.
All right.
Okay, well, you want to do your gag reel, then
Play the gag reel.
I can tell my Christmas story after that.
Well, go ahead and tell your Christmas story because we've been at it for 29 minutes and we've got 7 minutes before we have
Pop-Tart break.
I was about to say we're getting close to having to take a small little break.
Okay, I can do the story in under 5 minutes. When I was in what I used to call junior high and high school, the family across the street from us was the Adams family. That was actually their name, the Adams family. Now, I will tell you, my heartwarming Christmas story does have an inappropriate word, which I will not say. I'll just leave the blank, and you can fill in the blank. That's why it makes it such a great Christmas story. But across the street, we were near the lake. So across the street was up the hill, and our house was down the hill from the road. So people would leave their brakes off, and cars would roll down the hill and hit the brick flower bed in front of our house. Ha ha. Until we put up a fence made out of drill stem, and then we would hear cars roll and smash into that, and we would peek out the window and laugh. Well, the Adams fought all the time. It was ugly. You could hear them screaming, yelling. They'd be in the front yard. I saw Mrs. Adams throw a brick at her son, Jack, and hit him in the back with it one time while they were working on the flower beds.
Tough love.
Lovely family. He had a 66 Mustang that he repainted himself using a brush and a can of paint. So yeah. So one Christmas morning, they are going after it. We can hear, I mean, they're inside their house. We're inside our house, down the hill, across the road, up the hill, and we can hear them from inside their house. So we're like, oh, goody, what a Christmas morning. We're getting entertained by the neighbors. So what do good neighbors do? We go and start peeking through the blinds to see if we can see what's going on at the neighbor's house. And all of a sudden, everything is dead quiet. There was not a creature stirring, not even a mouse or a moose. And all of a sudden, with a clatter, the front door flew open, and all you could see was the Adams family Christmas tree marching out the front door. Mr. Adams, who I guess was the Grinch at this point, held the tree high above his head and yelled out for all the world on Christmas morning, Merry blanking Christmas, and heaved the tree, and it landed dead in the middle of the road. Splat, Christmas balls and lights and everything smashed everywhere. He went back in the house, slammed the door, and it was peaceful the whole rest of the Christmas day, except for the occasional sound of a car going whoopty whoopty running over the Christmas tree up on the street. That's one of my dearest, most cherished childhood memories at Christmas. And a true story. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. I do have it copyrighted, so don't try to steal it.
That needs to make its way into the oratory one year.
Well, you can always do what they call a callback.
Well, I was waiting for a sickle.
You can sample it, as the rappers say.
You hear, Chuck? I was waiting for a sickle Christmas story.
Oh, what? You're waiting for what, Larry?
A sickle Christmas story.
Oh, well, no, I don't have, well, that would take longer to tell a Sikkim Christmas story. And you're just about here at Pop-Tart break. For those of you who don't know what Sikkim is, it's one of my personas is Captain Lerofus Beauchamp de Kick-Ass of the Louisiana State Militia Special Unit called Sikkim, the Southern Indigenous Confederate Militia, which is made up of trained water moccasins, alligators, and nutria that we use to attack the Yankee camp. So that's what y'all, Larry was probably the only one around back then. Connor, you might have been at that oratory when I threw the rubber snakes out at everybody.
Before my
was
time.
that at Vicksburg, Larry?
Was it in Vicksburg?
13.
Vicksburg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vicksburg.
I thought 13 was the year where y'all came in.
Yes, we were the High Commission with the robes.
Yes.
So the snakes was the year. Where was it the year before Vicksburg, Larry?
Murfreesboro.
Murfreesboro.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
I know it was doing a sesquicentennial.
Calm
Stop
down, Moose. You look all ecstatic.
Moose.
I think Todd's on Moose's naughty list. Again, thank you, Todd.
Or does the moose suit chafe?
No.
It is 7:35.
Inquiring minds do not want to know.
I'm going to
What are you doing?
There seems to be a technical issue. Please wait as I work this out, because I completely thought I did a test run this morning.
In the
Hello.
meantime,
My name is
I was-
Alex.
Is it working now? Why are we all popping up?
No, we're popping up because you're not ready. So we're trying to fill air while you get it going. It won't
think
go
it's
while we're
moving.
sitting here.
Was there sound right there?
just
No.
there.
Kristen
was a
Lee
little
said,
bit.
yeah.
Please
don't
stand
trade.
by as we've been doing this for almost 2 years and we still don't know what the hell we're doing.
In my defense, it's the first time we've done a video this long.
That's true.
I made it 12 minutes, and I had to cut 8 clips. So, if we're ready, everybody just cut themselves off. I think I know what the problem was.
Well, go ahead and try it before we jump off.
All right.
And I am the true producer. Hello. My name is Ali, and I am the true producer and brains behind SCV Chat. Please enjoy our first ever gag reel as random videos of funny moments, mess ups, or mishaps play in no particular order for your amusement. Enjoy the show.
And before we go, I told y'all that I would try to tell how Moose got his new nickname. So this is how it happened. We were in the
So, all you California guys out there, what's up? So, hopefully y'all watch tonight. And just want to let y'all know we had a great time at y'all's confederation. So, word to your mother.
That's awesome. I love the commander.
Yeah.
I am going to go load my car up. And remember, no Fumar in the elevator. And rare fry.
All right, so let's get into it. Welcome. All right. Well, there's the intro. I love my intro. Thanks, George Connor Bond, for putting that together for me. All right. So, well, we're here.
Oh, yes, we are. I just have to have everybody muted.
Yeah, that was the Jurassic Park theme. He's still muted. He's still muted. Hold on.
Yeah, I love y'all too. You know, it.
Right, so hard not to laugh because you had to have my volume playing to hear the theme, and I knew that. So I was giving it my all not to break as Connor was laughing, and you were giving us a look behind the scenes.
Okay. All right.
I told you
Alright.
that picture. I told you that picture would make an appearance on SCV
Wow.
Chat.
Yeah, all I'm gonna. Yeah, you actually did tell me that picture was gonna do it. All I can do is I'm gonna name that T-Rex Brandon, and I'm gonna say, "Let's go, Brandon." Hey,
So much.
I might as well ride the T-Rex with this.
Oh, that just went through my nose, Jabba, for tonight.
Yeah. Well,
I just can't get over that video. Forrest Dawes has become the Conway Twitty of the Confederacy. I have a group of women that have your dad and hello, darling, and they will listen to that on occasion. So, your dad has become a sex symbol in the Confederation. So,
please tell me my dad is watching right now. Wait, time out. I'm clipping that.
I think we need a shirt that says "If Walls Talk," and I love the way he says it. It's so Mississippi, TAWK. If walls could talk, and that makes the video for me.
I'm just still stuck on the fact that on an episode where we somehow get on the topic that my father has turned into the SCV sex symbol.
Well, I mean, you're turning about as red as the flag behind you, so I don't know why you're embarrassed there. So,
thank you, thank you for this. I'm going to remember this one.
Hey,
I'm in charge of the Gag Reel.
I know that. Footsteps of your father there, brother.
I got to get my voice deeper, and I got to become a sex symbol to the Confederation. That is my destiny now.
That's your destiny. Well, let's get started with the pictures I emailed to you.
Oh. That's two, Adam. It's two.
Hey, stay out of that shine. Abbreviate words now. So, Mississippi.
Same way we do the intro video. Pop us off screen and pull us up, and then pull up that video, and then pop us back on if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did you cut out?
You cut out. I didn't hear you. Can we hear you now?
You got just at Harold.
Yeah, I heard Harold, and then it quit. But I can fill in. In the words of Harold Philpott. Oh, what was the woman's name? I forgot. Can you hear me, GCB?
Got into the SCV after receiving an award back when
I think Matt's going to do a great job.
Congrats, Matt!
Oh, God, what was that?
Moose sighting.
Yeah.
It's rut season.
That's good, Adam. I really hope that gets put into our end of the year clip of funny moments.
Frank kicking in the back door and killing two Yankees. I would have paid money to see that.
Because the back door was not stolen.
No, they actually had the doors.
They didn't
both front and back.
They sold them during Reconstruction, though.
What's the matter, Moose?
No comment. I'm gonna have to comb this episode for these moments.
And y'all make them work at headquarters.
So it's just for free.
Yeah, we can't pay you. Oh God, are you really sharing a South Park episode?
He just wants to be a flunky, yeah.
No reason to panic, but Kenny died of COVID. It's a new variant, the COVID Delta Plus Rewards Program variant.
That show's so stupid. Man, you all right, bud?
Yes!
Why does it say GCB and Little Raw? Oh, I get it now.
I broke Connor.
Someone was dying in a horrible plane crash. Where'd Connor go? Look,
I broke Connor. That was the goal. I've accomplished my life goal. Okay, I'm retiring. I'm done now.
This show is going completely off the rails.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
got
There is a place.
Well, hey, don't worry. It goes into my little book of banned songs. I've been banning a lot of songs this week, including tunes such as The Great Dixieland Delight by the band Alabama, who is no longer allowed to be played in my house either, because I hate Alabama. I hate Crimson Red.
Don't you just hate that song?
That was Commander-in-Chief to do that.
That was very well timed, Moose. That was perfectly timed. I'm quite proud. Punish with Poverty. That's it. Thank you, Chuck McMichael. Punish with Poverty. That is the book. Get a copy of it. Read it. Moose, yes.
I have some bad news. So he figured out how to get on his phone. But the bad news is he called me to tell me that every night at 7:35 he takes a Pop-Tart break. And so he's not going to be on until he finishes his Pop-Tarts.
He takes a Pop-Tart break. This is new news to me.
He just called me and was like, at 7:35 every night I take a Pop-Tart break. And that's why I was laughing. I was like, you're joking.
Everybody's got their thing. I don't judge people.
He legit called me and was like, hey, look, I figured it out, but I'm going to be a couple more minutes. And I asked why. He's like, oh, I'll take a Pop-Tart break. And you could Google grind this. I was laughing. And then he was like, I'm serious. And I was like, okay. Connor, why did you go off black? Connor just slowly went to black and slowly faded back in on my screen.
I got a text from Harold's son, and
he's taking legit Pop-Tart break.
He sent me a picture of the Pop-Tart.
I didn't get a picture of the Pop-Tart.
I got a picture of the Pop-Tart because I was about to call bullcrap on it and call him.
Your history.
Well, it looks like Connor's not back, so I can play this.
I got involved in the SCV because I was essentially born into the organization. My father was a camp commander when I was at a very young age. They're sponsoring SCV chat and working with us, and of course working with the Confederate Legion. Mr. Producer, go ahead and play the video, and I'm begging you, please do not play the video with me in it. But I got involved in the SCV because I was essentially born into the organization.
Very well done.
Good job, Moose.
I'm over here just talking. My mic's muted. That was really well done, man. Good job.
Thank you.
So you're the winner of the best screenplay in the first annual Chatty Awards.
You win this moose. What's the matter, Larry? What you shaking your head for there, CIC?
I think it's a good idea. You call your awards the Chatty Awards. Like you have the Oscars, the Emmys.
Yeah, but ours will be...
I'm just thinking like
it'll be people less full of themselves.
No, I was thinking like I tell.
Well, that's almost anybody.
Did you get a hold of some bad crack when you did this?
There are bad cracklings?
There's bad crack and there's good crack, I'm told.
Well, there's no such thing as good crack. Kids, don't do drugs. Crack is bad.
Oh, crack. I thought he said crackling.
I did this video in the middle of finals week, and
Guess what?
it was at 4 a.m, and I combed through almost every episode of SCV Chat we have filmed this year.
Hey, Harrison, make sure you you mark about 50 minutes in, and make sure you get Chuck McMichael saying, "Oh, crack! I thought he said cracklins for next year."
Is there anything more Southern to say?
Then crackling?
Yeah.
I love crackling.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Well, it's been a good year. Jack DuPont wants to remind everybody about these events coming up. If you're in the Gulf South area, there's the Wreaths Across America event at the St. Joseph Rotten Bayou Cemetery, Saturday the 18th at 10 a.m. Public event hosted by the Navy's Wife Club and American Honeybees Chapter 257. They'll be placing wreaths on more than 250 veterans interred in the cemetery. They're looking forward to a successful year and want to thank those people who are helping them.
That's a good program. I've participated in Wreaths Across America since I retired from the military. I usually buy 5 every year for the 5 friends that I lost in Iraq. So it's a good organization. They do great things. And if you have, if you're a camp and you take care of a cemetery, you can get, and you have one veteran in there, you can register and for one wreath, and they'll send it to you to put on that veteran's grave. But during this Christmas time, every veteran deserves a wreath on their grave.
Oh, Chuck Mack, you added lights to your hat.
Do what?
You added lights to your hat.
Oh, yeah, I like that. You look like...
and they're very versatile. You can change.
Oh, they flash, too.
It looks like a sign for a liquor store.
Or crack.
No, for cracklings. You got to get your mind out of the gutter, boy.
Crack is whack.
I think good cracklings may be more addictive than crack.
That is true. I'll agree with you. Good crackling is
Get any more than that poke skins?
And I'll be honest with you, you can only find good crackling in Louisiana.
Yeah, because you need to come to Point Bear when they do the Crackling Festival every year. What's interesting is 2 weeks before, over in Bastille, they have the Pork Festival. So what do you think kind of happens in those 2 weeks between the two?
Hey, look, I say next year we take a vacation and we all go spend a week with Chuck Mack.
Oh, yeah, we'll do the festival and food tour.
Hey, I'm okay with it. Y'all make sure y'all donate to SCV Chat.
Yeah. Well, I was mentioning to them Thursday, Connor, the Louisiana version of a Pop-Tart we call a meat pie. It's the pastry with the ground meat and spices on the inside.
Who gave you Gladys's recipe?
Who gave you Gladys's recipe?
No, that's a lot older than me.
Gladys
meat pies.
Gladys is the mother of the son of Harold Philpott.
Okay. So she must be a daughter-in-law of Brockton Philpott from the 19th Mississippi.
Could very well be.
Well, all I know is when I was getting the recipe, when I was getting the recipe for the dough, he said that they use it's 15% bacon grease and 10% something he called roadkill jelly.
Yeah.
I thought he got some of that barn porpoise butter.
The meat,
that's in there too.
The meat is whatever got run over on Highway 171 below Mansfield. And they clean it what's called S&F, which is the shake and fall method. They pick it up and they shake all the gravel out of it. Then they can grind it up and make the meat pie Pop-Tart stuffings with it. Or unless it depends on what kind of meat. They might make fancier dishes like poodles and noodles or something like that.
Did you say poodles and noodles?
Poodles and noodles, yeah. At the Roadkill Cafe.
Oh, the Saskatoon Furdale Fiefdom Camp is sponsoring their annual fundraiser for their charitable organization, Mothers Against Kangaroos Around Helicopters. find out more information through there. Vinny, it is pronounced Gladys. I will not take enunciation tips from you, Vinny. You're from New Jersey.
Yeah.
We still love you, though.
So
We
the
love you, but
acronym
we've
would
heard
be
you talk.
Acronym is MACHA. Support MACHA.
Exactly. Anyway, guys, it's been about an hour. I just got a text from my first lieutenant commander asking me to give him a call. We're going to work out the details with Chuck McMichael for his upcoming cooking show on SCV Chat. Work on your Julia Childs. That will be in season 3. Matt and I are also working on the screenplay for CSA CSI coming soon, hopefully, as well as our documentary series. Thank you again, Moose, for everything that you've done for us for this season and last season. You get a lot of abuse, but we love you. You deserve a long winter's nap in that bed. Thank you to the CIC and Lieutenant CIC, all the guests we've had on. Thanks for putting up with all of our silliness. And again, thank you to you chat heads for everything. We wouldn't do this without y'all.
Yeah.
We'd have given up a long time ago. This year, I think our final number for 1 year reach was almost 150,000. It's not bad.
It's big numbers, man.
Let's double it, guys. Hope everyone has a if anybody celebrates it, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, everything else. We'll see y'all in 2021. And
it'll be 2022.
Whew, thank God. Well, I was planning.
Please, God, don't let this year continue.
Well, I was planning on having a Festivus episode, but
well, I'm ready.
Airing of grievances will be fun.
Exactly, but who knows? Hope everybody has a blessed holiday season. And until the next time we broadcast live, always remember: crack is whack, Rudder frop, and in the words of the late great Harold Philpott, no Fumar in the elevator. We'll see y'all next year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry